Welcome. My name is Caroline Fang. I am the Director of Community Real Estate at Mission Economic Development Agency. Happy New Year. Welcome to 25 Sanchez, for those of you who haven't been here before. As we turn the calendar to 2019, this is a perfect time to reflect on new beginnings, and that is definitely the case for 25 Sanchez. Looking around at this refurbished property, I am delighted to see a prime example of collective impact. It was 4.5 years ago when taking on the city's call for nonprofits to take on HUD's rental assistance demonstration, RAD for short, seemed like a daunting process for Meta. After all, this was a brand new process for us. That's why the support of many partners was enlisted. That meant city officials, funders, community members, and the residents of 25 Sanchez itself. And to you, I now offer Meta's thanks for the key role you all played in making today a reality. Please give yourself a round of applause. It should be noted that when taking a difficult project and putting all the pieces together, such as 25 Sanchez, it takes a trusted partner, and our co-developer Bridge Housing has been that trusted partner. Thank you, Bridge. Meta could not have undertaken this work without such an experienced player in the field. Go ahead. It is interesting to note that the last two mayors of San Francisco grew up in public housing. The late Mayor Ed Lee championed the rehabbing of public housing in his beloved San Francisco, having grown up in Seattle's public housing. And our new mayor, Mayor London Breed, is furthering that dynamic vision. We are honored that she is with us today to cut the ribbon. What was our vision for the RAD properties? It was to create functional, quality homes for our senior and disabled residents, welcoming community spaces, and community ownership of those spaces. Redefining public housing was our goal, and I'm proud to say that that goal has been met. 25 Sanchez is just one of 5 RAD properties Meta has now successfully rehabbed, all part of the Mission Castro cluster that totals 439 homes preserved for seniors and disabled San Franciscans. We sincerely thank the residents of 25 Sanchez for letting us become a part of their lives. Your input on construction means and methods was vital, and engagement was high, as evidenced by how interactive this building was during our tea time community meetings when we translated in our multiple different languages and in our many one-on-one conversations. Additionally, throughout construction, we learned lessons based on your feedback. During the last 3 construction phases, you shared with us how we could consolidate our construction, and then you worked together to prepare yourself for the changes as neighbors and as roommates. So thank you for all of that you've done. Thank you also for your community input on these beautiful murals, on the plants in the garden, on choosing paint colors, on basically making this home your home, which has always been. So thank you so much for being part of making your home even more of a home for you. You epitomize what it means to be a community. You entrusted us as stewards of your longtime home, and that was a true gift. Today, we rededicate this building, which represents the beginning of a bright future for this community. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Cynthia Parker, President and CEO of Bridge Housing.
Thank you, Caroline. We were talking earlier about when we first met, I guess it was almost 5 years ago, to talk about a partnership with Meta and how we might approach the potential of becoming partners and rehabilitating some of the public housing under the RAD program. And I am very pleased to say that it has been a great success, and I thank you for your partnership. And I thank the city also for their incredible dedication to making this happen. This kind of a public housing facility, which was originally built in 1972, really, due to lots of factors, had fallen behind and really needed to have someone from the city and the housing authority champion it and say, we are going to make a difference. We are going to put money into these projects. We're going to seek out federal funds. We're going to do what we need to do in order to make this place the kind of home that people believe in and that will help them succeed in life. And unfortunately, I love that dog. Wish I had mine here. The kind of home that people have is the type of place that they need to be able to age in place in. And this building had fallen behind, and now I think it is significantly better. I think with our partner Meta, with our partner with the city, our partner at Bank of America who helped finance and put in the tax credit equity, we were all able to make incredible improvements in people's lives and improvements in this community room. And I think that with that, everyone can call this a place that they are proud of and want to call home. So with that, I just thought I would make a few comments on the kind of dedication it takes to this type of rehab of a public housing facility. The city of San Francisco is just an incredible city in its support of housing, and I wanted to make a comment about that because we do have a mayor in London Breed who is a true housing champion, as was Ed Lee, but certainly she is taking that mantle further and also knows from personal experience how important home is for someone. So with that, I wanted to thank the Office of Housing, Bank of America, our partner, and Mayor Breed. You really have made a difference in people's lives, and I know you're going to continue to do so as mayor. So I'd like to introduce Mayor London Breed today.
Thank you, and good morning. Is it morning still? Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. Every time we do a dedication or rededication ceremony in one of our public housing developments where we are rehabbing them all over the city, 3,900 units, I get really excited, but I also think about Mayor Lee because when I first started on the Board of Supervisors and he and I sat down and talked about what my priorities would be as a member of the Board of Supervisors, I made it clear that my top 3 priorities was public housing. Because I lived in public housing, as was stated, for more than 20 years of my life. And in fact, we never had a shower. We had a lot of challenges with our bathroom and mold. We had a lot of issues with the plumbing in general. We had roaches. We had just stuff that really, when you have to live like that for so long in your life, you never forget it. It becomes a part of who you are. And so when you are in a position where you can change that for someone else who sadly is still living in, really terrible conditions, there is nothing that you wouldn't do to fight for the people that you know deserve better. And I am so proud and honored to now be a mayor who is continuing that fight for so many of our residents throughout San Francisco who need us to be champions, who need us to focus on changing the lives of people who we know need for us to invest and improve the conditions of many of our public housing developments in our city so that people don't feel as though they are not a part of San Francisco. Because as I said, growing up, didn't always feel like I belonged in San Francisco or didn't feel like I was a part of this city. And I want residents of this city, no matter where you live, to feel like, yes, you are a part of San Francisco. And today's investment is just really one step in making sure that the seniors and the folks with disabilities who live in this community can live in place in dignity and know that we are here to support you with the many great services and things that we will continue to do. This community here will not be forgotten. And I want to thank so many amazing people who made that possible, starting with Meta and Bridge, who partnered together on this project and really worked with the community, the people who lived here, to really ensure the residents that we are not trying to displace you. We are trying to work with you to make this community a better one. And I think, again, back to my childhood and when the property that I lived at, Plaza East, just over the hill, 300 units of public housing. We were told they were going to be completely torn down and rebuilt, and only 200 units were rebuilt. And that clearly meant that some people weren't coming back. So it was important to us to make sure that we worked with a partner that would work with the residents to ensure people that the whole point of this is to make sure that you have a place to live and that this place is taken care of. And I know that this community had a lot of input in the rehabilitation process, including developing this amazing community room, which is absolutely incredible, and also double pane windows, which I actually don't have myself. So I'm just so happy about just even the little things that will make a huge difference in the quality of life for the residents here. And I want to thank Bank of America for your sponsorship, for your investment in what we know has really made a difference. I saw the work that was happening and the scaffolding that was up, and even some of the folks who grew up in this neighborhood who worked on this project. It was really a team effort of so many amazing people, amazing city departments, and I am just really grateful to all of you who played a role in helping to not only get this project going, but get it going and moving it in a very fast pace in comparison to how projects take place in San Francisco. We know they can take years, and here we are not too long ago. We're at a place where this, along with so many other places throughout San Francisco, where we're making the investments, making the properties better. And so I want to thank the residents for their patience, and I'm so excited about the future of this location and so many other places in San Francisco where we are committed to making these properties sustainable for years to come. Thank you all so much.
Hey everybody, I'm Rafael Mandelman. I'm the District 8 Supervisor. Welcome to District 8. I did nothing on this project, so it is an absolute delight to be able to land here. Well, I'm sure I will in the future, and I have some friends who work here and live here, but I just want to say what a wonderful occasion this is and how grateful I am to be a part of it. One of the first jobs that I had as a lawyer 2 decades ago was doing Hope 6 mixed finance projects representing local governments and housing authorities around the Bay Area. And so I am painfully familiar with how hard it is, how impossibly complex to put together the various funding sources to make 90 affordable, to rehabilitate 90 affordable units. And so to all the people at Bridge and Meta and folks with the city, the Mayor's Office of Housing, the Housing Authority, the investors, the other public partners around this, thank you so much for the hours of phone calls and document review and planning and looking at spreadsheets and all the work that you did just to get us these 90 units. And I do also want to say how pleased I am and grateful on behalf of my district that these 400 plus units are being rehabilitated around District 8 and that there are thousands more around the city. We have received from the middle of the last century a precious legacy, which is these units that were given to us for folks who were not going to be able to afford housing on the market. And the first task has been and is to rehabilitate those units and make them available and ensure that our seniors and our disabled folks are getting the best, that our next London breed, that our next Ed Lee is growing up in a decent home with a shower and a bathtub that works, that we do not lose the cure for cancer or the solution to global warming that we might lose if that kid doesn't have a chance. So, safeguarding that legacy and rehabilitating those units and bringing them into the 21st century is so important, but we all know that this city is so much less affordable than it was in the 1970s when this building was given to us. And so the work of bringing on the tens of thousands of additional units of subsidized housing that we must develop over the next years is critically important. And I'm so happy that I have a mayor who believes in that, who is prioritized an affordable housing bond going forward, and I know is going to be relentless along with the rest of us in looking for additional sources of funds for housing for middle class and low income people who must stay in San Francisco if this is to be a healthy, dynamic, diverse city. So I'm grateful and grateful for what everyone has done here, and I'm eager for so much more in my district and throughout the city. And with that, I will introduce Barbara Smith, the Acting Executive Director of the San Francisco Housing Authority.
Good morning, everyone. So I want to say that we at the Housing Authority are thrilled that 25 Sanchez and other public housing high-rise buildings could get the improvements they needed to provide and preserve this wonderful housing for our residents. Before RAD, I would get into bed and pray that none of our senior disabled residents in the high-rise buildings would be out without elevator service, or worse yet, be stuck in an elevator. All too often, I would get a call during the night and scramble to get emergency service from our elevator repair company and to send our duty officer to help residents get to and from their apartments and also to retrieve any essentials that they needed. I know how stressful this situation was for our residents, but with declining federal dollars, the Housing Authority was not able to do critical elevator and other modernization work at buildings like 25 Sanchez. This enormous RAD conversion effort, over $2.2 billion in financing for over $750 million of hard construction improvements, required the brilliance, dedication, and support from an incredible team, beginning with Mayor Ed Lee and now our new mayor, London Breed, including the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development, Bridge, Meta, Bank of America, HUD, I wish you were here, the Federal Home Loan Bank of San Francisco, Freddie Mac Multifamily, our commissioners, our SFHA staff worked very hard through this transition as well, the Board of Supervisors, the architects, Fine Line Construction, and others. Thank you to all of you who made this possible for 25 Sanchez and our other public housing residents. The results are beautiful. And a special thanks, actually, to the 25 Sanchez Street residents who had faith in the process through temporary relocation and living in a construction zone. At last, you have decent, safe housing with community-based management and connection to services. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Liz Minnick from Bank of America. Certainly couldn't have happened without you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barbara. And I don't know how to make this taller, so I'll try to squat down. Thank you all for having us today. It is thrilling to be here at 25 Sanchez to see the real rehabilitation of these 90 units, to be in this beautiful community room, see the light pouring in from the garden. I'll continue the thanks that have been a theme of this morning. Thank you again, Mayor Breed, for your commitment to housing. Supervisor Mandelman, our amazing partners at both Meta and Bridge. You're just really a pleasure with whom to work. And then, of course, also the San Francisco Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development. Bank of America was founded in this city 115 years ago in 1904, and one of the first things that we had the ability to do was, following the 1906 earthquake, help get people back in their homes. Housing is of key importance to us, and when the San Francisco RAD opportunity came to us, we were just thrilled to be able to support at, again, the $2.2 billion, as Barbara shared, level in financing here. That's the largest project in the United States, absolutely the largest project by far from a Bank of America standpoint. And again, so pleased to be able to do so in the city in which we're founded. Again, thank you for having us today. Congratulations on this amazing space. And now the best part of the program. Let me please introduce Gerardo Chang Calderon, a resident here who's going to speak.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, neighbors and distinguished guests. It is a pleasure to be here this morning. My name is Gerardo Chan Calderon. I'm a resident of 25 Sanchez Street, and I'm also served as the president of the Tenants Association during the time of the RAD renovation. It is a pleasure for me to be here today to thank Meta, Bridge Housing, Bank of America, Mayor Breed, the late Mayor Ed Lee, and also as a resident and as the former president of the Tenants Association, I'd like to say that the renovation was very trying at times, but we worked very closely with Meta and Bridge Housing. Also, the Northern California Presbyterian Housing Services was also an integral partner in the development. And we were very successful and we collaborated very closely. So I am very happy to say that as a resident and on behalf of my neighbors, I would like to say that it is a pleasure to be living in this wonderful location. We are all grateful that the renovation took place because we now have even more beautiful dwellings and homes. And that's all I'd like to say. So thank you so much for being here for this celebration today. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Kirsten Dissinger, Bridge Housing. I had the pleasure of working on this really briefly with a large team of Bridge, Meta, city staff, and a number of you. Thank you for sitting so long and listening to all of the gratitude that everyone's expressing. I'm going to have an opportunity to thank a lot of specific people, and I want, when I'm talking, for you to hear not just their names, but just kind of feel how many people really did come together to make this project happen, to make this building the place where we are. So thank you all for your patience, and there's snacks waiting, so I promise to go fast. So first, Fine Line Construction, which is Dory Friedman, Emily Lynn, Christina Charney, Chauncey, Leo, Nikki, and Harry Eng. And then Barcel and Jang are architects, which is Wayne and Melanie Tam. And Tanka Design Group, Bob Tanka. Construction management was Gilbert Chan. Bridge Housing, huge team. Smith Asashadri, James Valva, Susan Johansson, Susan Neufeld, Lindsay Haddix, Rose Wirtz, Angela Steele, Stacy Montez, Cynthia Luzad, Carrie Horton, Clay Adams. I feel like I'm doing a riddle. So Elton Smith, Carla Hansen, Elino, Pamela Jackson, and Tina Marino. And then Caroline, if you want to come up and thank a few folks, give me a break.
From Meta, I wanted to thank Elaine Yee for starting off the project, Monica Hollins, who helped with the relocation, Stephen Severon, Leslie Palarone, who also helped to project manage the changes in this building, Dylan Hamilton. Augustus was also part of helping the residents move. Roy Buse, who works as a construction manager with the Bank of America team. MoCD, like to thank Harry Wong, Lydia Ely, Sarah Nusser, Adam Cray, and of course Kate Hartley for being amazing in helping us through this process. Bank of America, we'd like to thank Ari, Rob, Penny Frey, and Jennifer Gill for all of your work in investing and believing in the financing of this building. Paul Hastings, Jessica Sue, Lubin Olson, our lawyers, Charles Olson, Carolyn Lee, and Beth Anderson, Gubin Barchet, Scott Barchet, and CHPC, the people who helped us with putting together the numbers on this building, Greg Chin. And from our services team, we want to deeply thank you for helping to make sure that our residents continue to have a strong community. John McDonald over at Dubose, Molly Mariner, and Cynthia Rodriguez. And
she gave me all the challenging parts. So this is the rapid fire round of all of the vendors that we brought on. I might say them wrong, and you might not have any idea what they're doing, but it's a good big list. Cyber Specialist, Overland Pacific and Cutler, Good Job Brothers, Puma Moving, SF Moving, Valley Relocation, M&M Hauling, Regency Corporate Living, Pest Tech, AEA, Applied Materials, MHC Engineering, ACG Engineering, Mark Zakubo, Tipping Structural, RCL Communications, RDH, Essel, Luke and Associates, Satellite Daddy, I love that name, Red Cloud, Watchtower Security, Persida Eyes Mural, and Argus, who I really think added a lot to the space we're in today. And Chicago Title Company. And last, of course, is our funders who really came together and helped us figure out the pile of matrices and paperwork that really make this real. The Mayor's Office of Housing, the Housing Authority, the HUD, as was mentioned before, Bank of America, thank you so much, Merrill Lynch, the Tax Credit Allocation Committee, California Debt Limit Allocation Committee, Freddie Mac, Enterprise Community Partners, and the U.S. Bank. So just generally, thank you so much. Please enjoy the snacks. We're really happy to have you here.
Thank you. And I think we're going out to the front to do the actual ribbon cutting now. Yes. No, it's okay.
Go. On the count of 1,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah! Yes! Okay, everybody going, yes, we did it. One more time.